If you are above the age of 60, you should avoid these 4 dangerous food combinations that can nullify the benefits of turmeric. Do you know that combining turmeric with certain foods that you eat on a regular basis might be extremely harmful to your health? Because of its ability to alleviate joint pain, reduce inflammation, and improve brain function, turmeric is widely considered to be an excellent spice for older folks. The majority of people are unaware of the fact that when turmeric is coupled with particular foods, it can lose its beneficial properties or even backfire in ways that cause your health to deteriorate in a way that is not immediately noticeable. The significance of this movie may be more than you think if you are someone who incorporates turmeric into your diet by sprinkling it on your food, incorporating it into your beverages, or taking it as a supplement. The fact of the matter is that turmeric is not always suitable for use with everything that is on your plate. When it is coupled with particular components, it has the potential to obstruct the absorption of nutrients, irritate the digestive tract, interfere with the effects of drugs, or produce chemical reactions that cause your body to experience stress that is not essential. If you don't know why, you can have a strange feeling in your gut. And all along, the issue could have been something that you believed to be nutritionally sound. There are 4 different kinds of foods that we are going to discuss in this video. You should never combine turmeric with anything else, and you should explain what might occur if you do so. The combination of these elements might appear to be harmless at first look, yet both scientific research and practical experience point to a different conclusion. You will have a better grasp of how to make the most of turmeric without compromising your health by the time you reach the conclusion of this educational film. In addition, if you have been experiencing the sensation that your regimen including turmeric is not providing you with the outcomes that you anticipated, the solution may be right there on your plate. First, let's take a look at what these 4 meals are, and then we'll discuss the reasons why they might be causing your golden spice to become harmful. To begin, meals that are high in iron. Anti-inflammatory and antioxidant qualities are 2 of the most well-known benefits of turmeric utilization. However, when it is consumed in conjunction with foods that are high in iron, it has the potential to subtly obstruct the very nutrients that your body requires in order to maintain its strength. Researchers have demonstrated that curcumin, the active component of turmeric, can impede the absorption of iron, particularly non-heme iron, which is the type of iron that can be found in plants, supplements, and cereals that have been fortified. At first glance, this might not appear to be a significant issue, however, over time, it can lead to the development of subtle indicators of iron shortage. This is especially true for older persons, who already absorb nutrients with reduced efficiency. The production of red blood cells and the distribution of oxygen throughout the body both require iron as a necessary component. In addition, as you get older, even a slight decrease in iron has the potential to make you feel exhausted, forgetful, or more susceptible to illness. In the digestive tract, turmeric has the ability to bind to iron, which in turn limits the amount of iron that your body is able to absorb. For elderly persons who rely on iron supplements, lentils, fortified grains, or leafy greens to maintain adequate levels of iron in their bodies, this is a very dangerous potential outcome. In the event that you are someone who incorporates turmeric into your morning cereal, spinach omelette, or porridge that is fortified with iron, you might want to have a second thought about doing so. However, this does not imply that you should stop using turmeric. Simply put, it indicates that you need to divide the timing. A few hours should pass between the time you consume iron and the time you consume your turmeric supplement or golden milk latte. This seemingly insignificant change can have a significant impact on the way in which your body absorbs and makes use of both the spice and the mineral. Because of the passage of time, our bodies grow more sensitive to deficits. What could have been a non-issue when you were in your 30s can become a significant problem when you are 60 years old. Take a second look at the way you combine your foods if you have been experiencing increased feelings of fatigue recently or if your physician has stated that you may be lacking in iron. Mostly due to the fact that the issue might not be the food that you are consuming. but rather the food that you are consuming with it. 2. Products derived from milk and turmeric have been touted as the ideal combination, particularly in popular beverages such as golden milk or turmeric lattes. However, the truth is that by combining turmeric with dairy products, particularly cow's milk, cheese, or heavy cream, it is possible for turmeric to lose a large portion of its powerful therapeutic properties. One thing that is sometimes neglected is the fact that dairy products contain proteins such as casein, which have the capacity to bind to curcumin, the active component in turmeric. This reduces the bioavailability of curcumin, which is the amount that your body is able to absorb and use. It is possible that the beverage, despite the fact that it may be warm and comfortable, is not accomplishing nearly as much as you believe it does, particularly during the times when your body requires the most assistance. Suppose we were talking about someone like Barbara, who was 81 years old and cherished her nightly routine of drinking warm milk with turmeric before going to bed. He had heard that it was beneficial for her joints, and she hoped that it would assist with the inflammation that was occurring in her knees. However, after using it on a regular basis for several months, she did not improve in any way. The aches continued to come and go during her sleep, and the stiffness she experienced in the morning had not improved much. When she brought it up during a session with her health coach, they suggested that she discontinue the consumption of dairy products and instead experiment with turmeric in conjunction with a plant-based milk, preferably one that excluded casein. After a few weeks, she observed that she was waking up with less stiffness and that her mobility had begun to improve. This was not an instant transformation, but it was noticeable nonetheless. Typically, as we become older, our bodies become more sensitive to the environment when it comes to the delivery of nutrients. As we age, our digestive system slows down, enzyme levels decrease, and it becomes more difficult to derive benefits from the meals and supplements that we consume by taking them. Being consumed on its own, turmeric is already difficult to digest. Because of this, it is frequently suggested that it be consumed with black pepper or a small amount of good fat in order to improve its absorption. However, dairy products, despite being a source of fat, include the introduction of proteins that have the potential to disrupt that process, so nullifying the effects of turmeric before they even begin. Lactose intolerance is a condition that affects a significant number of elderly people, many of whom are unaware of their condition. It is possible that combining turmeric with dairy products can not only reduce the advantages of turmeric, but it may also result in pain, gas, or bloating that is misattributed to age rather than the actual cause. If you are using dairy as part of your turmeric routine but are not experiencing the results that were promised to you, this could be the missing component. If it is at all possible, you should try switching to unsweetened and thickener-free coconut milk, almond milk, or oat milk instead of regular milk. It is possible that you will finally begin to notice the outcomes that you have been anticipating all along if you utilize a small amount of black pepper to activate the curcumin. Although it is not magic, turmeric can be very effective when utilized in the right way. Ensure that there is nothing in your routine that is preventing you from accomplishing your goals. I would appreciate it if you could leave a comment number 2 below to let me know that you are continuing watching this video and that you find these particular insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Next on the list is acidic fruits. When combined with acidic fruits such as oranges, grapefruits, tomatoes, or even pineapple, turmeric may have the opposite effect of what you planned. Turmeric is known for its ability to reduce inflammation and soothe the gut. But when combined with these fruits, the effect may be the contrary of what you meant. When you consume meals that are acidic, the pH of your stomach is temporarily altered. When turmeric is introduced into this environment at the same time, its chemical structure becomes susceptible to instability. That is to say, the same component that you are relying on, Curcumin has the potential to deteriorate before your body has the opportunity to absorb and utilize it. Instead of assisting your joints, relaxing your stomach, or providing support for your immune system, the turmeric becomes ineffective and, in some cases, even irritates the exact lining that it is supposed to protect. Let us take into consideration a person like Dennis, who is 74 years old and has begun including turmeric into his morning smoothie. A banana, orange juice, a few frozen berries, and a heaping scoop of turmeric powder were all included in it. He believed that it had all that he required. After a while, he began to observe an odd trend. Despite the fact that he continued to drink it without fail, he experienced a tightness in his stomach that was nearly sour, and his acid reflux became more severe, particularly in the morning. He had no idea why this was happening. His meals were nutritious, he exercised on a consistent basis, and he had even reduced the amount of caffeine he consumed. However, after discussing his practice with a dietitian, it became apparent that the combination of turmeric and fruits with a high acid content was actually causing digestive problems rather than having the desired effect of preventing them. A significant number of individuals are unaware of the fact that the effectiveness of turmeric is highly dependent on the environment in which it is introduced. The way in which your body identifies and utilizes curcumin can be altered by an environment that is extremely acidic, and it may even lead to its breakdown before it even exits the stomach. In addition, this combination might make discomfort much worse for elderly people, whose gut lining may already be sensitive or inflamed as a result of years of accumulation of wear and tear. There is a possibility that you will have a burning feeling that continues for a considerable amount of time after breakfast. The way in which turmeric interacts with enzymes in the small intestine is also affected by foods that are acidic. Because these enzymes play a significant part in the process of nutrient absorption. When they are disrupted by an excessive amount of acidity, it can set off a domino reaction that adversely affects not only turmeric but also other vitamins and minerals that are included in the food. And if you are taking turmeric for a particular condition, such as arthritis, memory, or immunological function, you might never experience any effects if your body is unable to access the full potential of turmeric consumption. There is no requirement for you to give up fruits or turmeric as a result of this. It merely indicates that you should not try to take them together. Wait 1 hour before consuming your turmeric if you are someone who enjoys citrus in the morning. Alternately, consume your turmeric with lunch or dinner, separate from foods that are acidic, such as tomatoes or dressings that are based on vinegar. Distancing oneself from one another can go a long way. There are instances when the healthiest behaviors are ineffective because they are incompatible with one another. And as your body evolves with age, those minor incompatibilities become more important than they ever have been before. Once you've finished eating, pay attention to how your stomach feels. Recognize the patterns, mainly due to the fact that when you combine turmeric with the incorrect companion, it causes more than simply a lost opportunity. You should not put yourself in danger by doing so. The natural blood thinners come in at number 4. When you put turmeric in your spice rack, it could appear to be safe. However, there is no denying that it exerts a significant influence on the body, particularly with regard to the circulation of blood. Natural anticoagulant properties are possessed by curcumin, the active component found in turmeric. This indicates that it helps to thin the blood, which in turn reduces the formation of clots and improves circulation. That in and of itself can be a beneficial thing, particularly for elderly people who are at risk of developing heart disease. However, if you combine turmeric with other natural blood thinners such as garlic, ginger, ginkgo biloba, or even high-dose fish oil, you run the risk of tilting the scales too far in the opposite direction. It is possible for the result to be excessive thinning, which can result in easy bruising, bleeding gums, nosebleeds, or in more severe situations, internal bleeding that is not seen until it is too late. Consider the case of Harold, who was 80 years old and took great satisfaction in their ability to accomplish things in a natural way. Every morning, He began his day by consuming turmeric capsules along with his homemade green juice, which contained garlic and ginger. After that, he proceeded to take his fish oil supplement. He was making an effort to take care of his heart, but he began to see marks on his arms that were black and blue in color and did not appear to be caused by any particular incident. At one point, he was forced to stand up from his dinner because he was experiencing an unexpected nosebleed that would not stop. His physician soon came to the conclusion that the reason his blood was becoming excessively thin was not due to the medication he was taking, but rather to the combination of natural substances that were interacting with one another in ways that Harold had not anticipated. The blood clotting mechanism in your body is sensitive, and as you get older, it becomes even more crucial to have a healthy balance in your blood. Too thick, and you run the danger of clotting. Being too thin puts you at danger of bleeding. When most people think of blood thinners, they automatically think of prescription medications. However, nature also offers its own version of blood thinners, and turmeric is at the top of that list. There is a possibility that the effects will become more pronounced when paired with other natural anticoagulants. When you brush your teeth, it is time to pay closer attention if you see recurrent bruises, wounds that heal slowly, or bleeding gums. Although you may not feel anything at first, it is important to pay attention to these symptoms. Although it is not necessary to get rid of turmeric, it is vital that it be managed responsibly. It is recommended that you try to space out your consumption of garlic, ginger, or ginkgo if you are currently doing so. You may take your fish oil at a different time of the day, or you might eat garlic with your dinner and turmeric with your lunch. It's not only about the substance you take, it's also about when you take it, how you take it, and what you mix it with. Also, before adding any kind of turmeric to your diet, you should see your healthcare practitioner if you are currently taking medications that thin the blood. Your dosage could be subtly affected by something as simple as a daily supplement or a cup of spiced tea, making it more difficult to maintain control of your levels. It's not always the case that natural means harmless. In some cases, the body is thrown out of balance because it is experiencing an excessive amount of a positive item. When it comes to the health of the blood, maintaining a balance is not a good idea, it is essential. I would appreciate it if you could use the fourth comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. To conclude, Tunpigi Rainans, some thoughts. When it comes to your health, turmeric can be a powerful ally, particularly as you become older. However, just like any other tool, it must be utilized in a prudent manner. It is possible that you are doing more harm than good without even being aware of it if you combine turmeric with the incorrect meals or if you take it at the wrong time. The fact of the matter is that the seemingly insignificant decisions you make on a daily basis build up. When you combine turmeric with other ingredients, you give your body a better chance of truly benefiting from the anti-inflammatory and therapeutic characteristics that turmeric possesses. This is because you are adding turmeric to other ingredients. To that end, please pause for a moment. For example, do you combine turmeric with foods that are high in iron, dairy products, fruits that are acidic, or natural blood thinners? In that case, you shouldn't freak out, but you should think about modifying the time or the combinations. There are instances when all that is required to unlock the true worth of something that you believed was already functioning is a straightforward adjustment. The objective is not to instill a dread of food in you, rather, it is to assist you in becoming more mindful of the ways in which the many components of your diet interact with one another. It is always sending you signals, and your body is a very intelligent organ. When something does not feel quite right, whether it be sluggishness, bloating, or bruising that cannot be explained, there is typically a cause for it. In order for turmeric to be effective, the environment in which it is allowed to act must be favorable. Continue to incorporate turmeric into your wellness routine if you already do so. Simply let it the space it requires in order to function correctly. Distinguish it from dairy milk. Avoid pairings that are acidic. If you are also taking natural blood thinners, you should be on the lookout for any indications. It is of the utmost importance that you give your body the attention it requires. You have put forth a lot of effort to maintain your health. You shouldn't let a few mistakes that aren't intentional detract from your efforts. The slight increase in knowledge that we have today can lead to a more robust and healthy tomorrow. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.